Well, good morning, everyone. Can I please start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands which are being returned today. The Gudang, the Kanu, the Atambaya and the Aka Mutuhi, Seven Rivers people. Can I acknowledge my ministerial colleagues, the Honourable Glenn Butcher, the Honourable Megan Scanlon, and of course Miss Cynthia Louie, your wonderful member for Cook. Can I also acknowledge Mr Jamie Merrick, Director General, Graham Frame, Director General, your wonderful Mayor, Councillor Patricia Usia, Mayor of the Northern Peninsula Area Regional Council, Councillor Yen Loban, Mayor of Turrashire Council, staff from the Balcanoe Cape York Development Corporation, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, it's an honour and privilege for me to be in this beautiful part of Queensland. Thank you for welcoming me so warmly to Injinoo, and thank you for working with us towards this historic day. It is indeed a special day. I am so proud to share this day with you. We confirm in state law what you have always known, that this is your country in traditional law and custom. Today our government will return more than 362,000 hectares of land to its rightful traditional owners. And for our media that are here present, we're talking about an area comparable in size to the Greater Brisbane region, or 5 times the size of Singapore. As Premier of this state, the enormity of Queensland never ceases to amaze me, and I am deeply honoured and feel very humbled to be here with you. We also celebrate the dedication of 2 new national parks on Cape York Peninsula Aboriginal land, or Saipau. As the Minister said, the Apudthama and the Yamarin Washington Islands. It's important to note that these 2 national parks adopt the traditional names. They are not the names that brought so much harm when they arrived in this part of the world. These national parks will add to the network of 32 protected area properties across Cape York Peninsula, a journey which began in 2001. I also remember attending a Cape York Peninsula Kalinga Maokai land handback in 2010 when I was acting Environment Minister, so many years ago. And I think it was said before that some of this process was started 30 years ago, and my Minister for Environment said she wasn't even born then, so we can't hold that against her. But I'll never forget that historic occasion on the Kalinga property, way down south, 100 kilometres north of Laura. And I will never ever forget this moment here today. Working together is so important. These parks are jointly managed by traditional owners and the Queensland Parks and Wildlife Service, and I'm proud that we continue this important collaboration. These new national parks will return many benefits for you as traditional owners. It will mean greater access to your homelands, a strong partnership in looking after your country, protection for places of cultural significance, and the right to develop sustainable enterprises on this land. It is the first Saipau National Park, a designated eco-tourism area is created, and this means local jobs and local employment opportunities, and that's a great thing for your community. These parks encompass the largest continuous area of heathlands on the Cape York Peninsula, and the Apudthama, sorry my pronunciation, National Park, Saipau, captures most of the Jardine River catchment. This catchment is critical to the ecology and to the health of our World Heritage listed Great Barrier Reef. Friends, when I reflect on Queensland's early history, I acknowledge there are many examples of atrocities committed against our First Nations people. It includes here in the Northern Peninsula area. It is in part a painful history, and I echo the earlier words and acknowledge the courage and resilience demonstrated by your ancestors. I acknowledge the courage and resilience continued by the current generation, which ultimately led us to our government returning these lands to you. But we must never, ever forget the past. And now we move forward together, which is why government is focused on advancing pathways to treaty with First Nations people. We held a significant milestone at Parliament House just last month, launching the start of the formal path to treaty. We accept all 22 recommendations of the Treaty Advancement Committee's report, and we outline the structures we establish in legislation like the First Nations Treaty Institute and Truth-Telling and Healing Inquiry. We can't change the past, but together we can create a bright new future. And historic days like this, they help us to achieve that. I wish to acknowledge the work of your Traditional Owner Negotiating Committee over the past 8 years to bring the transfer of this land to its conclusion. I'm told the Negotiating Committee worked with determination and persistence and negotiated hard on many points. I just want to end by saying, to see the young children here today, to listen to the moving speeches, to acknowledge your elders, to acknowledge this land. It's an incredible experience for me as Premier to be here today, and for my colleagues, because this is something we deeply believe in our heart is right. So I'm absolutely humbled that we are able to share in this historic day, and as I said previously, it's one that we will never forget. And it allows your children to have such a bright future where they are in control of their path, of their economic fortunes, in their cultural future. This is what working together is all about. And I stand by that. I said I'd be a Premier for all of Queensland, and I'm honoured to be, I'm told, the first Premier to be with you here today. But with that, it gives me great pleasure to see this land, your land, handed back to traditional owners here today. Congratulations, one and all, to everyone involved. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Premier.